Let's go on to your next series here. We have Star Wars Visions, new show on Disney Plus. It is, was it nine anime
Nine
episodes? Yeah, between 13 to 17 minutes each, with all varying styles of different kind of anime um, for your likes and tasting. So let's go start off with you, Jaron, because you were the person that's going to give us the most light that you can give us for the ones you have seen.
You don't like Star Wars. You don't like anime. What do you feel about the show?
I feel like I'm being put in a box here. I do enjoy certain animes, and yeah, I don't really like Star Wars that much. I've gotten through the first 5, or almost all the way through the 5th one. So I can say that the duel was great. I loved the style that the approach they took to it, where they made it like an old Japanese like cinema kind of projected on the screen. It had a little bump, it had a little fuzz in it and stuff. I thought that was great. And they did a really good job taking very 3D modeled characters and kind of giving them a 2D look until the camera moves and they're perfectly proportioned. And you're like, oh, they are CG. Okay. The duel was fantastic. Episode 1. Episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody, was I mean, it's fun to see another Hut slither lizard thing or whatever it is, like slug, kind of doing his thing and being at odds with Jabba. But I disliked how weird they made all the proportions. They looked like it was like Star Wars Kids. Like everybody was kind of like, 2.5 feet tall. It was just, I didn't like the proportions. I didn't like the story. You can't save the universe with rock. Apologies.
Let's do this. Let's do this since you're going this route through it. Jason, your thoughts on the duel? Let's do that, and then we'll just go through each episode. Then
I got you. Yeah.
Since you're breaking down the episodes, I was going to do that after we gave our thoughts, but let's just go ahead and break them down. Then,
okay, I love the duel.
Jason, your thoughts on the duel?
I love the duel. It was stylized great. I love spoilers. We're getting to spoilers. I love the fact that our main protagonist in it was a Sith, it seemed, but a nice one for once in the history of all Star Wars. Really cool first little taste that got me inspired to watch the rest of this. And much like Jaron, I'm not a really big fan of the anime style, but this one was particularly good looking and a great little story there.
Yeah, and he was also, when he revealed all the kyber crystals, like he had been clearly hunting other Sith. Yeah. And he'd been doing a good job of it. And
maybe he's not a Sith. Maybe he actually is a Jedi. He just uses a red saber.
I just was going to go walk into that. I'm like, look, I think the best thing about the duel is that we don't know what the protagonist is or isn't. We can make assumptions. Like, I can't even assume he's even hunting Sith. I think Inquisitors and all that stuff were ruling the land. He's probably just taking his time and offing motherfuckers that just get in his way of just trying to be a peaceful dude. Like, that could be true too as well. I did like the thought process of, like you said, if he was a former Sith that was like, nah, I'm good. I ain't about that life no more. Or maybe saw his body deteriorating and was like, oh, this is what the dark side does? Yeah, nah, I'm good. Right? So it could be numerous things. I did like in the duel, one of the things I did enjoy, and I think this is what I enjoyed about Visions a lot, sprinkled through, is the little nods to things we know in the trilogies and everything. Like the part when they're on the log, the first thing I thought was, oh shit, she has the high ground. And I kind of giggled to myself how goofy that is. But it actually played a factor because when he shoots off the missiles, he sends the missile at her, and that allows him to overtake her, which the distraction caused them almost like Obi-Wan Kenobi when Darth Maul had the high ground, a distraction kind of like. So again, it was little things like that. I was like, oh, that's kind of goofy. And I wonder if they were when I watched the first one, I was like, I wonder if they knew that they were doing this or it just ended up happening this way. But then as you watch the other ones, you start realizing a lot of the things they were doing intentional. So you could tell that the people who were creating these actually did have a love for Star Wars beyond just making animation. So I thought the duel was really good too.
And that's one thing I like about pretty much all of these is that, you can, a lot of times if you give someone like, hey, you can play in this universe, they will probably like break it a little bit, just to tell whatever fun story they want to do.
Right.
And a lot of these, they are like really, really like pretty much any one of these stories could just slot right into the main line. Continuity without really, really breaking it too much. That's what I really kind of enjoy about this. But let's go on to the next
Well,
one.
yeah, I mean, like, because you
Right.
could have changed the Ronin in and made him Obi-Wan Kenobi in it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that
and it
would've been
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tatooine Rhapsody. Jaren, you were finishing up about that, you know, just you didn't like the character design and animation and all that one. I was just jumping. This is my least favorite one. I don't really care. I mean, it did make Boba Fett look more like a moron, like always, so it's whatever to me. Jason, I don't know what your thoughts were on this one.
Only thing I liked about it was the fact that at the end, Jabba the Hutt was kind of tapping his tail along to it. I think the song was pretty cheesy. Like they could have. I mean, maybe if we listened to it in the original Japanese, it would be better. But yeah, I also, this is not my favorite. Is it bad? I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but it's definitely not my favorite.
Also, is that place where they played the concert? Isn't that the pod racing place?
Yeah, that's the pod racing place.
Yes.
So I didn't know Jabba hung out there. I thought he was on a different planet.
I'm sure if he's going to go see executions and games in a rock band, he would go there.
Okay.
Also,
hang out at his dingy little club.
So it's a venue.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also remember, if you remember the prequels, when Jabba, I guess, had some esteem, he on the pod racing thing, Jabba comes out and waves to the crowd and everything as they cheer. So it isn't unnatural for him to be in that spot.
Okay. I mean, he rules the planet. It's his planet.
Yeah.
Probably the most divisive one, number 3, the twins. Jaren, your thoughts on the twins?
Okay, the twins. Studio Trigger is phenomenal. They're a phenomenal animation house. Promare, Kill la Kill. They have a lot of great stuff under their belt. This episode was a batshit fucking crazy. They're like, rules? What rules? These motherfuckers breathe in space. This guy is going to survive a hyperlight jump on the outside of a ship. I mean, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, but it is fun to watch. I thought it was, they didn't give a fuck. They were like, we're just going to go fucking ham on this. The rules and storytelling be damned. And I mean, you have to go into it not expecting for it to make too terribly much sense. And if you do, and you just look at the pretty colors and the drawings, you're going to have a great time with
it. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, this is probably the one that is the most anime of all of them, I think, in my opinion, the most, tropey anime. But with that,
shonen. It's the most shonen one. Yeah.
But with that, Jared hit it on the nail. It's batshit insane and it's fun. It's bombastic. You got fucking characters, on a fucking, X-Wing swinging his lightsaber at a fucking Star Destroyer. It's nuts. It's all nuts, and it's beautiful. It's fun. I like this one. This was a great one.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I said it's probably the most divisive because it's probably the closest to the shonen style where as you fight, people just seem to get stronger and stronger. I want to again, most of this my analysis of this whole thing is just pointing out gems that I really enjoyed in there. I did enjoy that they were created and born from the dark side. So again, another call to the last one where Palpatine comes back and blah, blah, blah. So good call to there, Rise of Skywalker, that like they were already experimenting with building people out of quote unquote bad force or the dark side of the force. Right. So that was kind of cool. I did think that they basically did a shout out to The Last Jedi, but did it way better with the hyperdrive move. But like even that scene, and even that scene was kind of ripped from there, but looked a lot doper. I did enjoy that he basically, in essence, and I thought they should have leaned into this heavier, but they didn't. That in essence, he wasn't a good guy. He just realized that this crystal would corrupt his sister, so he wanted to stop that from happening. But I feel like the end, they kind of gave him a heel turn, and he made him like, "Oh no, you're really a good dude after all." But I feel like they should have kept them being, I should have thought they should have kept them still an a-hole, but just been like, for my sister, like I'll do whatever it takes. I did enjoy that. I did love the pretty much Iron Spider-esque lightsaber that came out. That was just was just pretty crazy and dope. And then also for some people who don't know Star Wars mythology, there are like whip sabers that have been created. So to see that kind of be done was kind of dope. I mean, I don't know if they were officially calling it that, but it did resemble like whip sabers, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, all in all, again, the twins was the first one where it kind of made me. I like, the duel, but this one made me sit up. I'm like, oh shit, like they giving it up like this. Okay, let's go. So yeah, absolutely.
I
The
also
next
like
one we had.
I also like
Go ahead.
their stylized choice for the main guy in Twins. It definitely looks like almost like a part for part recreation of Luke Skywalker as he was drawn on like the original poster, but like anime version. Like the blue eyes, the blonde hair, the whole thing. I felt like it was like a genuine like one for one pull on the character type.
Okay.
At least the way he looked. I thought that was cool.
All right. We have next the Village Bride. I'll jump this one off. I did not mind the way it ended. I kind of wanted more of a slice of life kind of vibe on this one. I kind of wanted the Jedi to be less of a fixer-all, but someone that understood that things bad stuff happens that not necessarily we need to be quote unquote the hero for. I thought that was the vibe they were kind of tending to, and then it was like, nope, we still got to be the hero, which I didn't care for as much, but I did like everything up until that final scene. I like that they were seeing the culture and seeing that like people are actually living one with the Force, but not even realizing it because it's giving them everything. I liked all of those mythos going into it. I thought the ending was, hey, we got to do something because people are watching here for action, which I could have been perfectly fine without. But the Village Bride was probably the most, quote unquote, when people think of Asian kind of cinema, it was probably the most that felt that way to me. What do you think, Jaron?
I genuinely like this one. I liked it. I like the design. I like the style of it. I thought it was beautiful. I like that. People don't think about the idea that Han Solo ship, the Millennium Falcon or whatever, he uses it for smuggling, but other bad people probably rock that same ship too. So I like the idea that
Millennium Falcons, man.
he definitely was. Yeah. I like the idea that they had reprogrammed some of the droid army, so they had to have that antenna that controlled them all, just like in the movie. So once that antenna got exploded, they all just fell apart, which, it is what it is. I loved I liked the transforming shoe. I don't know what that was all about, but it was really fucking cool, which he moves really fucking fast with the Force. I thought that was dope. I mean,
that's
very, very
anime shit.
Yeah, super anime shit, but also like with that whole idea of the samurai thing where they just cut to the person already behind the other person and they're putting their sword back in already, and then the cut happens on the person in the blood and all that. Yeah, so I thought that was fun. I dug it. I enjoyed this one. I think it was up there for the ones that I've seen as far as top. It was definitely better than Tatooine Rhapsody.
All right, Jason.
Yeah, I like this one. I like this one was the fact that it was a little bit of a slower, like I like the part that it was kind of like a slice of life of this planet that, this guy and his girlfriend are getting married and he has to carry her up this fucking mountain.
Right. Talk about
Which
being
I'm like,
worthy.
yo, dude, y'all got no fat bitches out there, man. Because
well, they're not getting married.
This is going to be problematic for people, like, because I love you, but we ain't carrying your ass up there. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Like it was, we did but didn't.
It was cool that she did the fucking Kylo Ren catching the laser bolt thing. When he shot her, she force catches it. That's always a cool fucking shot. They should always use that in fucking Star Wars from this point on. Like anytime there's a Jedi, you should catch a fucking bolt and stop it in midair every time. Yeah, I thought it was a cool. I wish there was a little bit more action at the end for me. But other than that, I still thought it was a pretty nice little, like, nice episode. Just nice.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah, it was just nice.
All right.
They also did that in the Twins when he stopped the stun circle.
Yeah, when he stopped the stun circle too.
Yeah.
He did that. And that's always cool. Like,
yeah.
All right, let's do the Ninth Jedi. Jason, what are your thoughts on the Ninth Jedi?
This right here broke me because I think it was so good. It made the last prequel. I mean, people can say what they want about the sequel series, or even the prequel series, or even Star Wars in general. This could be its own movie. This could have been its own trilogy. This could have been something different that could have gave us, and I would have been all here for this. Like, it changes the lore on the kyber crystals a little bit, but like in a better way, I think. The crystal color changes depending on the person wielding the saber. So you don't just have a green lightsaber with a green crystal in it. If you pick up a saber, it's going to turn to whatever color of the Force you were attuned to. So if you are a Sith, there ain't no fucking hiding that shit. If you're like a lightsaber, it's gonna be red as fuck. And like, if you're not as strong in the Force, it's not gonna be as strong as the color. But as you grow more confidence, it's going to get brighter. And I thought that was really, really cool. This episode was, it was by far my favorite one, and I'm sad because it's a one-off and it's done, and I want more because they ended it on a cliffhanger.
Right. Jan, I know you saw some of this episode. You want to speak
Yeah.
on what you saw?
This is where I stopped. I got to the point where the girl is delivering the lightsabers up to the base in space. So I guess there's going to be a big turn about somewhere there. I like this one.
Want to ruin it.
Yeah,
I want to spoil it.
I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if you do. I'm not going to hate you or anything. But this one, I like the style. The animation was good. So if Star Wars takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, this one, I guess, just takes place like a little while ago in a galaxy far, far away. Because timeline, it feels like this one is like the most current. Like, because they talk about the Jedi Order being wiped out with that order, but then after the big fighting that happens with the Empire, and now the Jedi are like scattered, and they've even outlived the last usable lightsaber. So the fact that they're kind of like rediscovering their roots sometime in the distant future it was an interesting concept from that perspective. So I enjoyed that. But yeah, the fact that he grew up knowing that he was Force tuned, but had never actually held a lightsaber, I thought that was kind of cool. So
yeah.
Can
I spoil this, please? Because this is the one scene that like just was like I screamed and I was like, "This is awesome!" You have all these Jedi that are gathered on this moon, and they're all wanting lightsabers because they want to go out and help save the galaxy.
Right.
When the lightsabers come in and they pick up their lightsabers, almost all of them turn red when they ignite them.
Oh, except for the dude who had it already.
Except for the dude who had it already, and the young boy that's up there, and it was like just such a cool twist. I was like, like I squealed. It was so awesome.
Okay. So they're all Sith, undercover Sith.
Yeah, right. Undercover Sith,
or at least I think maybe Inquisitors or something like that.
I'm
assuming
they said they were.
Yeah. The rule of two still is prominent there. Yes, I thought I'm with you, Jason. I think I even text like this is what the last trilogy should have been about. We didn't need any Skywalkers. We didn't need any Palpatines. We could have just said, hey, these are people getting around and they're Force sensitive, and this is what the First Order or whoever is trying to do to them. Anyway, I thought the cool thing about it was, like you said, like they did do the whole as you get stronger with the Force, the color gets in, etc. So I know for people who don't know much about Star Wars, typically is you would go to a place to get your kyber crystal, and it was always the thing. And I forgot which episode of the Clone Wars. It's an episode even dedicated to this process.
It's like season 5, season 4 or 5.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I did it in a Star Wars MMO RPG that I played. I had to go get my kyber crystal and do all that
galaxies,
shit.
Right. So you go to newer one. Get your kyber crystal, and the theory is that the crystal calls to you, and you call and you calls to you, you get it, and then from the materials of what you have, you build your lightsaber from that. If we have to believe that the Force is a living thing and it's in everything living, etc., I like the twist on the thought process that, from what we know, the kyber crystals are very rare now at this point, that the Force can be imbued through them to say, instead of you having one call to you, you having one and being Force sensitive allows you to manipulate the crystal. Because even being a Sith, technically, you infuse the crystal with the dark Force. That's what turns it red. So why wouldn't that be the reverse, that if you infuse it with good stuff, your crystal will turn whatever color you would want it to turn to that suits who you are, etc. So that was my headcanon for it, why it worked that way, to be like, oh, they're just imbuing it with good Force, and that's why the color is. That's why he said if you're not strong enough in the Force, it doesn't have you a color, because you're not able to imbue it with enough to change the color to what you want. So that's my headcanon with that one. Take it or leave it. Either or, I enjoyed it, and even me thinking that made me enjoy it way more. To think that could be the future of how kyber crystals are done, because now you'll be recycling kyber crystals to different, if you build the order back. So why not have them be able to imbue it with whatever color suits who they are? So you can start off with a blue, but as you get more skill, end up being green. Or maybe if you become the ultimate lightsaber guy, because he definitely is, it becomes purple. And so, but yeah, so the knife Jedi I definitely enjoyed. Let's move on to, was it Toby? I called it Toby 1, but TOB1.
Toby 1, damn man.
Yeah,
Is this the one that looks like it's just Astro Boy, but in Star Wars?
It is just Astro Boy.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Star Wars Astro Boy.
Yeah. I mean, Astro Boy is the Asian concept. So, Jason, your thoughts on this one?
This was this one I had to watch twice to fully enjoy. I had to go back and watch it again before I was like, okay, I kind of like this sort of style. Yeah, it's like, what if your favorite little Pinocchio becomes a Jedi? And it's not like anything groundbreaking or anything crazy, like mind shattering. It's just like this little robot believes that he's a Jedi, so he is. Hooray! And it's just like, yeah, like I see your face, you're turning your nose up at it, and like it's not for everybody. It's probably on the same par as that Tatooine Raspity, or it's just like this really doesn't like change anything, or it doesn't really like it's not really like that interesting of a story, other than the fact that the little boy.
It sounds like from your description, all I'm thinking of is that conversation in the MCU where they're like, if he puts his hammer down in the elevator and it goes up, the elevator didn't lift the hammer. The elevator's not worthy.
But there's a cool twist where the little boy or little robot boy is wandering around his house because the scientist that he is that created him said, "Oh, there's a kyber crystal inside here, and if you want to be a Jedi, you got to find it." And he eventually does find it because it's inside of him. He was a Jedi all along. And I cried. No, I didn't cry, but yeah. That was a little cool little touch there that I thought.
Was it Dr. Light or Dr. Wiley that told him that?
He could have been either because he looked like both.
I was just about to say that. That was going to be my first thing was, man, they definitely ripped Mega Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think Mega Man ripped Astro Boy. I think they...
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Cool things in this one I did enjoy a lot was... when he was doing his robot thing with getting the lightsaber, the moment where he had like one of the things on one foot and he does the balancing act, which was very Luke on Dagobah with Yoda. That was kind of cute. I thought that was kind of cool. Like that his playing around was almost giving him Jedi training because they were giving him scenes and poses that were very almost iconic in like Luke's training as a Jedi. So I thought that was pretty dope. His father or, his owner or his creator being a former Jedi, I thought that was pretty cool as well. And I think maybe with Jason, I hit Jason up. It was like, I thought only organic people could be force sensitive because, when Vader loses limbs, they supposedly limited his ability with the force. But this robot is, which put a different spin on it because the kyber crystal was in him. So we know the force does run through those kyber crystals. So I don't know. I'm still sucking if this works or not. But what I'm just going to say is that it was a fun episode, and it wasn't that good of an episode for me to want to think that hard about it. So I'm just going to roll with it. So
I just say it's like the Pinocchio thing. He manifests that he's a real boy. So because he thinks he's real, he now has the force power because he is alive. So
gotcha.
That's the way I think about it anyway. But yeah, it's not that great to be thinking this hard about. It's just a cute little story.
Right. The next one is The Elder. This one's pretty dope, man. That Elder's gross, bro. That joke is nasty. But I thought it was a really good, like, again, former Sith was just, he's out there just for the thrill. He's out there for the thrill of the kill, and he finally met his match. But yeah, homeboy was gross. The way he even died was gross. Like,
he just like.
But what were your thoughts on The Elder, Jason?
Yeah, this is a cool one. This also could have been its own like movie or story or anything. It does not break canon whatsoever in my mind, at least. It's probably some Uber fans like, oh, actually, but no, because this could have taken place, before the war. So when Sith have not been heard of, and they found one that like kind of is, kind of isn't. Yeah, fucking great, dude. That old guy was like, "Yeah, I'm just here to fucking fight shit. Let's get this on."
Right. I don't care nothing about this good versus bad. I just like to kill, and this is what I'm here for. And I'm looking
But
for good challenges.
it also has a cool message about, the passage of time. The Padawan's going to get stronger, the master is getting weaker, and that old man was at the end of his prime, and he just wanted the last challenge before he moved off into mortal coil. And eventually, the master will be the old man, and the Padawan will be the master, and then the cycle will repeat. And I thought that was a cool message to that. That it just keeps on moving down the road. Keep on down the road.
And all
Don't
this
you
too, I want to say too, like all the animation in this is a really,
It's
really
just
good.
yeah,
Really, really strong.
like they every studio that worked on this has knocked it out of the park, and I guess that's what they wanted to do. They're not going to phone this one in and send it to their overworked, wage slaves to to do these ones. These are all the
Right,
bosses.
right. And so the next one we had, what was it? Lope and Ocho?
Yeah, Lo Pinocho, Achi,
Yes, yes.
Ocho.
Go
I don't
ahead.
know.
I guess you go ahead and spit on this one. What you thought on this one?
This one is very culturally Japanese. They definitely live on a Japanese planet. It's really cool that the conflict usually, I guess the conflict here is conservatism versus, I guess, a fascist. Like the dad wants to conserve the peace of his homeworld, while the daughter wants to join the empire and progress to whatever, but she doesn't realize the empire is just using them for their own gains. Uh, the bunny furry Lopi, whatever her name is,
Mhm.
you know, if you like that sort of thing, I guess that's cool. I love the lightsaber that she is given, and I love how the Jedi were kind of built into as the lore of their planet. Like their house was started by a Jedi, and like these things you can even see in their like iconography that they were, have brought in these, that the Jedi sort of way has kind of like influenced their family for so long, and I thought that was really
Mhm.
cool. And yeah, and there was a cool little fight scene in the end. I don't see how the daughter survived that because she got like double slashed across the chest.
Right.
Um, hopefully, but yeah, this also could be a cool like a lot of these is like y'all could have made movies of this and like have given this shit to us, and we'd be all over here just like I mean we're gonna milk the fucking teat of Disney anyway, but we'd be over here just like give me more of this
Yeah, it probably was the most cultural relevant one. I did love the shout out to the lightsaber having like etchings in it, like almost a
Yeah,
samurai
that was so
sword,
cool.
which is pretty dope. Like pretty much like a Hanzo type of joint. Like I thought that was cool, and like the sword being part of the family, and like, oh, you're not part of the family, but like he's like, well, yeah, she is. Like that's your sister, so yeah, she can rock this sword too, or this lightsaber, or however you want
You
to
better
phrase it. So
catch
I thought
these
that was pretty.
hands.
Right. I thought that was pretty cool.
Huh.
But yeah, it's not much on here that I think of this one. Like I said, I didn't think it was weak, but I felt like the story, because of it being so cultural, was one of those things that it could be a turnoff for a lot of people if you're not up on how that flows. So, and then we have the last one. What is it? Akirika.
Fuck if I
Anyway,
know.
yeah. Anyway,
You
I'm
did
just gonna say
well.
this one had the dopest ending. And I hope we get a season 2 of Visions because, and it doesn't have to follow these characters, but this ending was so effing good that I was just like, I mean, Jedi with PTSD, then like he did Anakin the right way. Like it just was
Mhm.
such a good ending, and like makes me even madder to be like, this is what you could have done for Anakin. You literally could have gotten this off, and we would have believed it because of the scenario. And they did this, and we believed it because of the scenario. And I don't know if you want to further elaborate on it, Jason, because I just
Yeah,
great ending.
dope as hell. This is also why Siths suck. I don't understand why anybody wants to be one of those motherfuckers because they just manipulate the fuck out of you and get you to do what they fucking want you to do, and you harm the ones you love because of it. And, but at least Auntie Sith. I don't know the character's name. She kept to her promise for that. She's like, I can bring her back to life. Okay, if you be my, if you join me, he's like, all right, she's alive. You're a Sith now. Let's go.
Yeah, let's walk it out. And even though
Who gives a
I was
fuck about
waiting on
this
the
planet?
turn.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was waiting on the turn, but I'm like, damn, if dude's a Jedi, he really can't just flip on his word like this. He got to kind of
Yeah.
roll. And he did.
He rolled with it.
Follow
He's like, I
Ray.
get
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, dope is that like this episode was just it's awesome. It was a cool ending, cool story leading up to it. Very this one also had very vibes of samurai movies with the two guide characters, which is also you know a common trope in Star Wars because they Lucas ripped off every samurai movie he ever saw. So yeah, it's real cool. Yeah, it's Anakin's story done right. Like there's no whiny, you know, I hate sand. Like he literally was like his master told him, "Don't go back there, or it's gonna be bad for you." He's like, "No, I gotta go back," and he goes back, and guess what? It was bad for him. So,
Yeah.
so it was really cool, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all this shit. All this was great. Like, please do more of this.
Right. Less of the other thing, more of this.
Yeah,
less resistance, more of this.
yeah.
What would you give your rating, Jason, of the whole thing? If you had to, which is hard because they're not connected. But if you had to rate the whole thing, what would you give it?
I would give it a 5. If you are a Star Wars fan, this is required viewing.
Absolutely. Jaron, for the ones you have saw,
for the ones I've seen, I definitely give this a 3.5. I know that's been my rating apparently for both this week, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some great stuff in here. I don't know if I'm as excited as Jason is about it, but from what I've seen, I've enjoyed. So yeah, 3.5.
See, like, I'm not, trying to negate your score. Your score is what your score, but like shit like this, like inspires me to get back into fucking doing animation.
That's good. Well, that's
like,
great.
Shit like this makes me want to just like, why am I sitting here being a computer scientist? I should be out there with these guys in the fucking field.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. I liked it a lot. I mean, about 2 week episodes, 2 week, and then about 2 average ones, but the rest were great. So I'm gonna give it a 4. And definitely, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's must see TV for it.